Yo, it's the Drop Night Show. It's your man Sean BC with my lovely co-host Mara D is in the building.
Yes, we're so happy to be back.
Yeah. And we got, he came in here, shook my hand. I was like, oh man.
You felt the muscles?
Yeah, I felt the muscles. Yeah.
Yes, we have top fitness expert Sam Williams in the building.
Yeah.
Gonna give us some tips so we can kick off these summer bodies.
Is it too late for summer?
You know what? It's never too late for something. You just gotta put in a little extra work. You gotta put in a little overtime now, but it's not too late. You still had that summer body. Yeah, we got a couple weeks left.
Okay.
We're gonna get there.
What's the overtime?
We're gonna get you there.
What's overtime though?
You might have to bang out a few two-a-days, but you'll be all right. You'll live. You're not gonna die. You'll be fine.
You know why I don't work out?
Tell me.
The body aches after working out,
Oh, for real?
and then throwing up while working out.
Oh,
See, I don't know.
Why are you throwing up?
Yeah, I don't know what you eating before you go.
right. You
be
might have
bad.
too much
It
on
be
your
bad.
stomach.
Yeah, you got some stuff going on.
Cause it would be, they would like do cardio. They put me on the treadmill. From the treadmill, we do lifting, and then more cardio, lifting, cardio, and I'm like,
Oh, that's intense.
my body be like, wait a minute, it's too much, too fast.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, do a real trainer should do that to people they training?
Well, my particular approach is everything is really specific to whoever you're working with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's not really like a one-size-fits-all workout plan for people as much as, most people like to think that there is. In terms of how myself and my business partner train, we tailor make it to whoever, we're working with.
Okay.
You just can't jump in the pool if you don't know how to swim. You got to
Facts.
yourself.
Facts.
That's
where a lot of
smart.
people-
Yeah.
And it kind of helps you build more of a foundation, more of a platform that you can build from. That's what kind of scares a lot of people off. You know what I mean? They go in and maybe they go too hard the first time they wake up. They sore as hell for a couple of days. I ain't doing this shit.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Happens all the
So, can you give our listeners more of a background of why you are into fitness now? What was your journey to get to being like a fitness expert?
Right.
Let our listeners know the journey.
So I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, and been an athlete my entire life. I ended up going to Central Michigan University to play football. Played 4 years there, had a great time, and then I came out here after my college career was over for a job with the Philadelphia YMCA. I was the health and wellness director for the Broad Street, Broad and Master, right down there in North Philly. Shout out to the North Broad YMCA.
Oh yeah.
I was down there for a few years. I had a lot of fun, a lot of great people, and I fell into fitness, man. People just started asking me to train them. It was weird. I was like, all right, well, I guess this is happening. I kind of still, I'm a big dude, so kind of like an athlete at the time. So it made sense. I was like, all right, that's fair,
So why Philadelphia?
You know what? It's probably, I would describe it as divine intervention. I was living in Chicago at the time, and I had a lot of different job offers around the country, but Philly made me the best offer, and my best friend was doing City Year, and he told him place him wherever, and they put him in Philly, and Philly gave me the best offer. So it was like, all right, well, guess I'm going to Philly. Let's try it out. So I've been here for about almost 9 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you love Philly?
Yeah, I do now. Yeah, absolutely. I'm a Midwesterner. I got first got out.
He definitely, yeah. It was a little
cold.
adjustment.
Golly, loosen up.
Yeah.
But I love it now. It's really cool. I enjoy being here.
Okay. So how are you getting some of your clients? Because you do have finicky people who want to work out, don't work out, or the trainers are charging a lot. How do you get those clients?
Well, me personally, when I first started out, see, it's levels to it. When I first started out, I was in a gym. I was in a lot of different gyms around the city. And I was just trying to build up my book of business because I knew that I didn't want to continually work for someone else. I knew I eventually wanted to work for myself. That was always the end goal. That was the end game. And just in, over the years, building my book of business at different gyms. And really a lot of this industry is word of mouth. And then I graduated kind of to the next level. I was able to get some clients at the residence at the Ritz-Carlton, which is where I pretty much do all of my work now, and just kind of cracked into a really affluent circle. And it's been off and running from there, man.
That's a different level of people from LA Fitness.
Yeah, we're not talking LA Fitness
Planet
clientele. Not Planet Fitness, not LA Fitness, not Anytime Fitness, none of those. So, Sam, what would you give what type of advice would you give people that maybe can't afford personal training? They might have a little gym in their apartment complex or something. Like, what's the basics that can get someone hitting the ground, ready to get their summer body, but like within their budget? Right. So maybe they can't join a gym, but they have access to a gym. Like, what can they do?
I mean, I honestly, it all comes down to your internal motivation. You got to really want to get up and do something.
Mm-hmm.
30 minutes.
It starts here, right?
It starts in the mind.
Yeah.
30 minutes a day of activity is more than enough. There's never been a time in human history where human beings have been so sedentary, where we spend so much time inside. With advances in technology, advances in commerce and things of that nature, we spend a lot of time not doing anything but either looking at a screen, looking at your phone or something like that. So it's human nature, it's like, well, I need to get up and do something, but you have to make the decision to actually do it. So, anything kind of like, it's a lot of bullshit out there. I don't know if I can.
Yeah, you can.
There's a lot of bullshit out there, like on Instagram and stuff like that. But if you find yourself a nice little 30-day challenge or something like that, get up, run. I stretch every morning. It's really, really important to stretch, and the big thing is, even if you aren't going to get up and be in a regular exercise regimen, don't eat bullshit. Just don't do it.
Yes. Yes.
You got to be able to have some discipline somewhere.
Right.
And if you are training, realize why you're training and what you're training for and what you want your body to look like, and you can't out-train a bad diet. If you don't do anything else, especially in our community, if you don't do anything else, you got to eat right.
Facts.
So how important is knowing your body type? Does that play a major part?
Absolutely. It plays a major part. For instance, most black people, like upwards of 75% of black people, are lactose intolerant. But we don't know that, and we still digest dairy on a fairly consistent basis. So just like something like that's really specific to, melanated people who look like us, we don't know a lot of times that dairy just doesn't particularly agree with our bodies and our systems. And it gets more individualized, the more you kind of peel back those layers and kind of dig deeper into it, and you have to figure out what works best for you. Like carbs, I can eat a lot of carbs, I'm not really going to gain weight. Other people don't work like that, you know what I mean? Their bodies are a little bit different. I can, but if I am ingesting a lot of protein, or my weight goes up like super crazy. So everyone's body is different. Everyone's body is incredibly unique to them. So you just gotta learn your body. You gotta know your body.
Right.
Can you go to a doctor and they can tell you that?
Absolutely. Physicians know. They know.
They know, but I feel like you got to come in empowered and knowledgeable, because they might try to, run you toward a pill or medication or something. Have to think in
terms of when we're talking about the medical field, which, a lot of doctors do great work and all that good stuff like that.
Definitely.
But looking at it as a whole, they don't make money by curing you. They make money by
keeping you. Exactly. Right? The treatment is where the money is.
50,000 medications,
right?
Like that, and none of them cure you. All
right.
Treat. So you have to find a physician who you trust, and who's really. And again, to your point, going in there with some sort of basis of knowledge. Knowing which questions to ask.
Right. And like you said, knowing your body and like being able to come with like, well, I know that this makes me feel weird when I eat it. Should I cut it out of my diet? What can I replace it with?
Exactly.
Like that type of thing.
And the most basic thing that I tell people is, we all are creatures of habit, especially in terms of our diets. Like what you eat regularly is usually what's in close proximity to you, or just really what tastes good to you. But when you eat, I encourage everyone on the foundation of trying to build a good diet is, think about after you ingest your food, listen to your body and see how it actually makes you feel.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh my God, that is great. Tip.
Food, just sit and then
think.
Your body actually feels after you eat a lot. Don't just turn on the TV and just let your body talk to you and be willing to listen, because that in and of itself can cure a lot of, again, the bullshit that you're putting inside of your body. It's like, when you really eat that fried chicken, you don't really feel that good after you eat that shit.
That is true. It just tastes
good. You eat that big steak, you eat that whatever. It's just
you over here in your
heavy though. You
do.
It tastes good.
Yeah.
But at what cost? No.
So
Absolutely.
normally we go to the Cheesecake Factory, right?
Hold on, we're gonna come back to that.
Okay.
So we're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna cut to Nipsey because obviously he's still on all of our minds.
Facts.
Neighborhood Nip. And
Marathon continues.
Yes, it will continue, and I think this conversation is in line with a lot of things that Nip was about, with empowering our people to be more knowledgeable about alternative medicines.
Facts.
And things of that nature. So anyway, we're gonna play Nip now. Hustle and Motivate, I feel like is right on par with where we're feeling these days. Yeah. So Nipsey Hustle and Motivate. The Drop Night Show will be back.
Let's go. Yo, that was Nipsey Hussle with Hustle and Motivate. We are back with fitness guru Sam Williams.
Yes. So we were just getting into talking about diet and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, shout out to Nip, RIP to Nip, Neighborhood Nip.
Shout out to him, you know what I'm saying? Like, his family turned down.
Oh yeah, the funeral. Let's talk about that a little bit more later.
Yeah.
I wanted to discuss like his work with trying to put more light on Dr. Sebi and the documentary that he was going to work on. And so, like, what are your thoughts on that, Sam? Do you promote that with your clients? You talk about alternative things and
Absolutely. Talk about alternative medicines. A lot of my clients, because I'm a part of the marijuana industry back in Michigan, a lot of my clients also consult me with that. People have really a lot of, hard time sleeping and stuff like that. And melatonin just ain't cutting it, and all that kind of stuff. And then just, some alternatives. When you think of a good diet, it's not always what you need to take out of your diet. A lot of times it's what you need to put into your diet. It's not about I can't eat this. It's about I should be eating, that. And that's kind of, what the focus is in terms of Dr. Sebi and a lot of the things that he stood for, and making a diet and having a diet that's electric and alkaline and all that kind of stuff like that. That's in line with, again, specifically what the needs are of our people in terms of like, we are not all created equal in the sense of what our body needs. When you think about it, black people get sickle cell anemia. No one else gets sickle cell anemia. Certain things that ail the body that are specific to certain demographics of people, right? Like a lot of my friends who are Jewish have intestinal problems, right? We don't struggle with those same things. So you have to that whole diet is built around knowing specifically your body. There's really only one disease, and that's when the mucous membrane is compromised. Everything comes from that.
And Sebi was definitely very knowledgeable on the mucus. Like, I feel like when I first started like learning about him and doing my own research a few years ago, that struck a chord with me because I had given up dairy, but for reasons just because I felt like my body didn't like it. Right. When I learned more about what it did, and obviously the fact that like it's an animal's milk and they don't even feed their own animals that milk after a certain period of time, but yet we're drinking it, and basically with the marketing behind it, we're thinking you need to have a glass every night before bed and stuff. When it's like
humans
clearly
are
not for us.
That consume milk past the nursing stage.
Yes.
Wow.
The only ones. Yeah. And we're drinking not our other people's. It's not from the mother. Our, not that all, we know there are women that breastfeed their children, but I'm saying there are plenty that are giving their children what they think is also a good alternative to the breast milk is another animal's milk. And no, that's like us trying to feed a cow a woman's breast milk. Like, it's not. A cow definitely not. They don't need that nutrients. It's not in that.
They're not going to drink.
They probably wouldn't. Exactly. They probably turn their nose up to it. Yeah. So I'm happy that you're putting that information
out there. Saying that a lot of diseases live in mucus.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
It's one of those things that it unimpeachably compromises your immune system. So when your immune system is weak, you can be susceptible to anything, whether it's cancer, whether it's as simple as a common cold, or flu, or whatever. When your immune system is weakened and compromised, you're done. That's now you're playing catch up. Now you're trying to get better. But you can. Right. But you definitely there's gonna have to be modifications in your diet and how you're consuming what you're consuming.
What are your thoughts on the Instagram fitness kind of wave where people...
Man, listen, I'll tell you, as a fitness professional, I love to see people winning. I love to see people getting money. But one of the main things that kind of does bother the shit out of me is that, Instagram is in the business of selling dreams, not buying them. You know what I mean? So a lot of people selling dreams, a lot of people selling the quick fix. And as someone who got in this industry legitimate, because I care about people, I love people and I want to see them, do well and live their best lives. That's not always, 9 times out of 10, that's not going to be, you're not going to get that kind of content from Instagram. But if you're already in a regular exercise regimen or something like that, you can find something.
You can find things.
You can find things. Yeah. You can find things that are useful. But just because you see this girl with a fat ass, or you see this dude who's yoked up,
and they're posting videos here and there, being like, "This is
working out."
Like, I'd love to also get your opinion on maybe the Kardashian family and how they kind of push this faux, we're fitness, chicks, and we're right. They're like posting their workouts, but I'm always like, but I don't see no muscle tone. How are you working out every day and you're not cut anywhere? You might have a shape, but I don't see no calf muscles popping out.
They lose a lot of weight.
Yeah, I'm sure they get it in. I know.
I don't know though.
Out there. I know this guy Donna Matrix. He's a beast in the industry. I know he's putting them, through some work, and they work with the best. So I'm sure
they do, but I'm just like, why am I not seeing what I would think would be results if you're living in the gym?
It's a little bit more.
We know there's more going on.
There's a little bit more to the situation than that. I think it's great. I think anytime you have some sort of inspiration to draw from, that's wonderful. Whatever's going to get you up and moving, I'm for that. But at the same time, you have to temper expectations. You're not going to, again, you don't know how long this person's been in the game doing it, and just because they know how to train themselves, that does not mean that they know how to train other people. Just because they know what works well for them, don't mean that they're gonna know what works well for you, or that they even know what they're doing. You don't know what the trial and error that went into them kind of sculpting their body, to the way they wanted to look. They could have gotten injured several times, on the road to that, and they just wanted to look a certain way, and they kept pushing. Most people don't have that kind of resolve to push through those, kind of injuries like a hamstring tear, or you tore a bicep, or a calf or something like that. That shit takes a while.
And are those injuries common among people who kind of work out consistently, or would you say?
I wouldn't say that they're common, but they happen. It's not uncommon. It's just injuries are a part of, leading an active lifestyle. It can just happen.
Being active.
It's just being active. It happens. But the beauty in it is when you are in shape and when you are active, you bounce back so much faster.
You do, right.
When you're dieting, when you're just eating right, I shouldn't even say dieting, when you're eating the right things, oh God, you recover so much faster. I very, very rarely get sick. And when I do, 3 days and I'm good, max. I haven't been out of commission for more than 2 or 3 days in probably 15 years.
Wow.
Dang, that's
How often do you go to the doctors?
Probably twice a year. Checkups, just make sure I'm good. Cholesterol, all that kind of bullshit like that. But not very. I don't get sick.
You don't really?
Yeah.
Now, do you use your fitness to your advantage when approaching females?
Fuck yeah. Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Of course. Don't no woman want, in my opinion anyway, and again, this is the Midwest in me, don't no woman want no scrawny dude walking her legs bigger than yours, you know what I mean? She is more in shape than you. Only way that works is if you come into the game and them pockets are exploding already. You know what I mean? And she looking at him, and then that sets the wrong precedence because she just wants you for your bread anyway. Every man should feel like if he's when a woman is in his presence, that she feels protected. And the only way that can happen is when you feel like you're dangerous. And the only way when that can happen is when you're in shape because you've trained yourself not only physically but mentally. You can do difficult things. So the confidence that comes along with being in shape, you wear it. It just comes out of you. It's like I'm a fucking animal. I can do whatever I want to do. You know what I mean? And that confidence, it tends to attract the opposite sex.
All right, well, we're going to get into something we call My Rapid Fire. So I'm going to ask you one thing or the other, and you got to tell me real quick just what your answer is between the two.
Cool.
Okay? All right. Detroit versus Philly.
Detroit.
Netflix and chill or a rooftop dinner? Like this is like a date night thing.
Rooftop.
Okay, CrossFit or powerlifting?
Powerlifting.
Natural supplements or enhancements?
Natural.
Hip hop or R&B?
R&B.
Love or respect?
Respect.
Good book or good movie?
Good movie.
Malcolm or Martin?
Malcolm.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, he was good. See, he played that
He
game
played
very
it
well.
the way it should be played. Thank goodness.
People be like,
Love
what?
when smart people come to the show.
That's easy. I'm getting the softballs here. I like it.
So, what's your DMs look like?
They're not too crazy, to be quite honest with you. My social media following is not crazy like that. I'll be honest with you. I've been really spoiled in the industry and the fact that the route that most trainers have to go in terms of promoting themselves heavily on social media. I was really blessed and fortunate to crack into a really affluent circle. And when you get into a really affluent circle, they ain't going on Instagram looking for no fucking trainer. They get trainers.
Word
from
of mouth.
recommendation.
That's
They
all that
call the
matters.
concierge or like their, business manager
Right.
or whomever, and they like
Someone they are cool with, recommend that's already training
cool with.
Yeah.
So once you get to
That's
a certain
so
level,
true.
Instagram is like, it's nice. And obviously it's added revenue and it can help your business grow and it helps you reach. It's free marketing. It's amazing. But I've just been, my personal story, I've just been a little bit spoiled in the way that I don't really take advantage of social media as much as I probably could. My DMs is popping a little bit. It ain't dry. It ain't the desert. But it also ain't the ocean. So.
As a woman who does not ever slide in the DMs, like
You never
what?
slow nobody's
Never.
DM. Never.
No.
Not one.
No, I swear. I don't. It's not that I'm like, ooh, like, I just,
I'm quite sure you got some DMs.
yeah, I got DMs.
Oh, yeah, they jump.
Nice ones. Nice ones.
Yeah, I do.
I hear some stories about
I do, but I
DMs,
also
man.
don't look at them all either. Like, I'm not really like, ooh, who's, I'm in there, to be honest, more seeing like who's DMing about the show, like who's trying to get on the show, and then in the midst of that I see stuff. But overall, like, I'm not in there looking. I mean, I wouldn't meet anyone that way anyway. Like, that's not my thing. But as someone who's getting DMs from women, like, what is that? How does a woman DM Sam? What do they say? Is it kind of like, I want to be work trained?
Yeah,
like,
I get that shit.
okay.
A lot. Yeah. So what exercise should I do for this? Listen, the game is sold, not told. What the fuck you mean? This
want the
ain't
free workout plan.
Right. No, it don't work like that, baby. No.
That's hilarious.
So I get that, but a lot of times it's just like what happens. A lot of times is somebody will come through and like 10 of your pictures, like back to back.
Yeah, and I feel
I feel like I'm old in the way that I'm asking, my younger friends, like,
what does this mean?
What does this mean? What is this? Social media is another world. It's not like real life.
You
So
gotta learn to navigate.
what does this mean? I'm just like, well, she probably wants you to DM her. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right. Well, I
No,
guess
I think
that's
that is.
what that
You're
means.
right.
I didn't fucking know.
It's like, I'm giving you attention, so now come say
Come
something.
say
to me.
something.
Right,
Like
right,
one of my
right,
pictures
right.
are
Yeah,
sliding
right,
that DM.
exactly.
Right, and so I
my
really
God.
don't get back into the liking pictures thing, but I would say for the times that I have slid in the DM or two, my success rate is pretty high. But I'm one of those, I'm old school. I'm like an old soul, man. I'm much better. I wouldn't say better, but just that interpersonal connection where you can feel somebody's energy. I'm all about, when your vibrations are high and your energy is right. You just
Agreed.
attract the right people, and I don't need social media really for that, or I don't really need social media to be a savage either, So it's just kind of one of those things that it's there.
You can't
but
be a savage on social media.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah,
very,
maybe.
It's possible.
I think there's
And a
the
lot of
savages
people do.
that
That's
live
a
on
whole
there.
It's just too much. It's too much. I'm too old. It's too much.
Yeah, I feel you.
So do you think you where you want to be at in life? What your business?
No, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm definitely where I'm supposed to be.
Okay.
Given the decisions that I've made and the work that I've put in, I firmly believe that everyone is in their lives exactly where they should be based on what they have or have not done, the decisions that they did or didn't make. So while I want to be further along, I understand why I am where I am.
What advice would you give people who kind of live in the social media bubble and compare themselves, especially when it comes to fitness? Like we were talking about the people who are posting like their fabulous body and trying to give advice on how to get there. But for someone who is like not so secure and they're on here in this feed of seeing like all these beautiful shapes and stuff, how do you kind of like give them some like positivity to say like, don't buy into this, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say? So
don't drink the Kool-Aid. Well, what I tell all my clients and friends is two things. Comparison is the thief of all joy. When you start comparing yourself to what someone else is, what they may have or have not, it just takes away from you being able to enjoy your own thing. And then the other thing that I like to tell people is that no one posts their fucking failures. No one posts when they get up and, you know, they don't feel great or they don't look great or they don't really kind of post their journey all the time. You know, they're just giving you the highlights. It's like watching SportsCenter, watching the top 10. Anybody, you know, it's like no one, they're not putting on SportsCenter, Kobe in the gym putting up 200 shots a day. It's just not exciting. It's not cool. It's not, you know, one of those kind of things that grabs people's attention. So you just have to be cognizant of what you're looking at and why it's there. It's just, we're looking at highlights. You know, we're looking at people trying to garnish attention.
Yeah.
Oh, he's smart.
He's giving us a lot of information. He's dropping gems. Yes. I'm so here for it. And I know our listeners will definitely find, you know, some tools they can take away from this conversation, hopefully.
So how was your transition from Detroit to Philly? Like, because there's a different type of people here.
Yeah, it's different type of people here. I was young. I was only, like 24 at the time, 23 or 24. I didn't know anybody here. I didn't have any family. It was just me and the homie. And he was working a lot, and I was working a lot. And just being out on the East Coast, the electricity that's here is like nowhere else in the country. You know what I mean? Because everyone is living in such a close proximity to each other.
Yeah,
and
that's
then you have
so
these major cities like DC and New York that are also in very close proximity to Philly. So coming out here to the East Coast, man, for the first time in my life was fucking crazy. It was like every weekend was like, I'm an adventurer. Every weekend was like a new adventure. You know, it was like, what can we get into? You know, because coming up in Detroit, it was just like I grew up really quickly. You know, I'm from the hood, so I came up, you know, pretty fast. So it was like I saw a lot of cool, you know, stuff that attracts young people in the party. And then going to college, I mean, it was just like, it was crazy. It was a surfboard on a rainbow. But coming out here, it was, at first, I didn't understand that when you're around so much electric energy that everybody's hustling.
It rubs off, yo.
It rubs off like that.
Honey,
East Coast place, that shit is
you
real.
can't
like,
help
I go to
but
Miami,
hustle in
I'm walking
Philly.
down the street,
you really
and
can't.
I'm walking like I'm passing people up. You know, I'm just moving. And my pace definitely sped up, and I realized that the competition is real. You know, if you want to go get it, ain't nobody gonna give you shit. You gotta really go get it. And history rewards the bold, not the timid. So I came out here now, and that's where I became a man. You know, I learned how to go get shit. You know, it's like I want this. I have to discipline myself to really go get it. You know?
Dope.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into some of these current events. I feel like we should talk about some of the things going on.
Yeah. The Mueller report. Trash.
The what?
The Mueller report. Yeah. Trash. A waste of tax people dollars.
That was a lot.
Let's talk. Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah.
It was.
But what did we all really expect? You know what I mean? Did you expect?
I definitely have no expectations
expect,
at this point.
What did we expect? What were the expectations from it? I think that we are in a time. Black people, we can't be too, people in general, America, we can't be too quick to forget where we are. You know, like Donald Trump is the fucking president of the United States of America.
He really is.
That's wild. That should have kind of let everybody know what time we on right now. Like, that's...
Like, let's call a spade a spade.
Exactly. We're going through a time in this country where I think it feels like it's almost like a last grasp to power for the old white male regime of eliteness. You know, and I think that people who don't adopt a more progressive way of thought will be left behind. It doesn't matter what color you are, race, or anything like that. I don't know, man. I feel like a cosmic shift is kind of happening all over the world where,
I agree with that.
The nepotism and just the people are kind of tired of it, because the wealth inequality gap continues to grow. It continues to see people, rich are getting richer and poor getting poor. And eventually people have to wake up. And it feels like, it's happening. I feel like people aren't paying as much attention to the bullshit like the Mueller report on because they're just kind of getting busy actually trying to change their lives. At least I hope that that's the case.
Right. I hope the same.
Quote, he said, let him not win the next election. That's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw crazy statistics.
Because I believe, I feel like the Democrat Party to me doesn't seem to have anyone strong enough to kind of come against Trump, in that people kind of know what to expect with him at this point. Even the people that have been riding with him, they're not going to change their mind. But I feel like some people that might have been anti are a little more like, well, at least we know what to expect from this man at this point. Am I willing to bring someone new in who could potentially, I don't know, maybe mess up more? But I'm just curious to see like how the Democratic Party is going to, whoever they're going to put up on the pedestal to be their candidate. Because right now it's not looking good. Kamala Harris, not looking good for her. Not looking good for her. They thought we were going to be like, black woman. Oh, she went to Howard. Like, girl,
we
got your number.
We saw your track record out there in Oakland. We know what's going on.
Honey. We know. Now you pronouncing your name more black. Girl,
right.
Please.
No.
And Cory Booker, same thing. In a nutshell, it's more like they think they can give us the black face, and we're just gonna be like, oh, they're black. I'm down. Right. I'm gonna support them. And no, we're all smart enough now to know what are you gonna do for our community. Let's start with that. I'm about the people too. We're all human. I'm definitely not trying to say like we're better than anyone, but every community, in my opinion, kind of works to build an economic infrastructure that will help them all grow together. And we're the only ones that are like for self.
We're still lacking.
For self. Or not educated enough to realize like, let's all put our shit together. Yeah. We'll have more.
When it comes to voting and things of that nature, I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine. And one thing that he brought to my attention that's very true is that when your vote or your representation isn't backed by money, then your interest,
no one cares.
It's like your vote really doesn't.
It really doesn't.
Counted, but it doesn't.
But
really
it
matter.
Doesn't really matter,
because
right?
If your interests are not represented, in terms of policy that's actually being changed, all of that stuff is affected by dollars. So if your community isn't pooling its money together to say we want this guy in, and we have the money but our community certainly has the money.
We have it.
$230 billion a year on consumer goods.
We do.
That's
almost. That's why they know we matter because we buy. Are you kidding me? We spend.
The money is there. We just have to. We have to come together and realize that we got to spend this money in a different way if we want to see real change.
Yeah.
There can't be political change. There can be, again, 10 years after slavery, right? Slavery, the black community came together and came up with like $10 million to build, I think it's a Freeman building in Washington, D.C. That's 10 years after being the lowest. I mean, you don't get no lower than that. That's lower than the snake's belly in the dish, okay? That's low. And $10 million in the 1800s in a decade? So it can be done. We can do it. We're certainly further along than that. It just requires us putting together a plan and being unified. Yeah.
It seems like there's more unity in the air since Nipsey's passing. I feel like, at least for now, the conversation is more front center about let's all come together. Let's, be thinking economically as far as like our investments for our community.
Right.
Do you guys have any hope that this trend will like continue, or you think it's just kind of because now in the height of like his passing, everyone's a little emotional right now?
Want to hope. That's all we have is to hope, because anytime we want change, we get knocked back down for what we believe in. So it's hard for people to want change. and continue to get knocked down, they're gonna stop believing, and that's the worst place to be for our culture.
Right.
Yeah, I think that I feel that same energy. It feels like people, when I, just scroll down my feed and social media and stuff like that, and a lot of things that I follow and I see other people following, it's very conscious minded. You know what I mean? Where people really are, it seems that our people are becoming more interested in discovering who we truly are instead of what we've been conditioned to believe we are, which is a very, very powerful thing. And I really do feel, even before Nipsey was taken from us, I feel like that energy was kind of fueled a lot of what he was doing, because people will always, one of the reasons he's my favorite artist and will be forever cemented as that is because he did what I'm trying to do, going back and buying up your neighborhood, buying up a strip mall where they told you, he took the seats out of the store, get your shit and go. And you spending money, you putting money in their pockets, sending their kids to college. Well, now let's go back and buy up this strip mall. Now you pay us rent, and all that kind of stuff like that. Empowering our own people economically. It's time out for symbolic victory. We just have enough of those.
Okay.
Actual,
what I love.
Victories.
We're tired of the
symbolism. We
done.
We need
We're done. Yeah.
Because again, the gap is widening. And with things like artificial intelligence, where most jobs that we have will be automated. We got to do something. We got to make a move, or we will cease to exist. Because a lot of things, again, the way that the technological advances have really just swept across the globe.
Fast.
Manual labor and things like that. Everything is going to be automated. You won't even have to call a guy to come cut your grass no more. They'll have drones and shit to do that.
Will.
So we have to, in order to keep up and really kind of walk in our destiny, we have to, we have to, start to move away from the symbolism and into real, plans of action,
Right. Plans of action. We need it.
Yeah, we need it.
Yeah.
What's your plan?
Get a lot of guns.
Yeah, we need those too.
Okay, you're going to stockpile some guns.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
We do need protection.
A lot of bullets.
Because when we start rebuilding and having our own economic power, people going to try to come for it.
Yeah.
Like
okay,
Wall
that's
Street.
true. Exactly.
Oklahoma.
But we
They
can't
burned
have
that
that
down.
happen again.
No.
They burned that down.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I've had conversations like this, that's something that comes to mind. And so I'm like, why do we do all of that if we know there's a 50% chance that they're going to come and just destroy it?
Well, one thing that I often think about in terms of our struggle as Africans in America is that just by virtue of us existing, we're winning because we're still here, like just by virtue of that, like what our people had to just endure. Like think about the mortality rate of infants during slavery was like over 50%. So we here.
We're here.
We're descendants of the strongest human beings
We made it.
on planet Earth.
We
At
made
least the
it.
people who can take a lot of shit. So by virtue of that, we owe it to continue to, resist.
That's a great way to look at
to
it.
fight oppression, because we wouldn't exist if we adopt the attitude of, well, what's the point? Well, I mean, what's the point is we have to keep fighting. If nothing else, just to give the next generation a chance to keep fighting. You know what I mean? Like, we can't just call it a quits. That's just not what we do. We just don't lay down like that. That's not who we are, So if for no other reason, even when hope is bleak, we're still here. And as long as you're still in the game, you can't give up, That's just not an option. We got to keep going.
All right.
This has been an awesome
Sam's
interview.
right. We got to keep it positive. We got to just keep striving.
Yeah. You're going to get a
It
breakthrough.
gets tiring, but
Yeah,
we got
absolutely.
to.
But, history, again, rewards the bold, not the timid. We're fighters. That's what we do.
Oh, we fighters.
We are.
We fuck shit up.
That is true FSU, baby. Fucking shit up. I like that. Yeah, I like that.
I love it.
Yo, but this was a good interview, man. Like, I appreciate you
really
coming
appreciate you
past
guys
here,
having me.
man,
Yeah,
because we interview a lot of people and
Man, we
don't
do.
get this kind of dialogue.
But I told you that. I said he's gonna be a good interview.
Y'all shit. I like what y'all got going on here, man. I really appreciate it. Putting this positivity on the airwaves, letting people know what the fuck is up.
I mean, we got
have
to.
Yeah,
We
man.
have
We
to,
have
man.
to.
Yeah.
Like, podcasting is obviously a new lane or newer lane than some of the other media outlets, and so
That's covering
right and
blindfolding a lot of people.
Right, but I feel like we have like more leeway to kind of talk about things openly, which we're gonna do because we can.
Is so amazing. Why I think podcasts are so amazing is because it allows people, just like something as far back as MySpace. Our culture creates content. They create, like Instagram and Twitter and all the platforms.
The platforms are there, right?
But that shit don't start popping until we put our hand in it.
Oh,
and so the podcast game. You think about some of the hottest podcasts, it's like just motherfuckers sitting around talking shit. Like Mike Tyson's hotboxing or, Snoop's GGN.
Yeah,
or
Drink
all that
Champ.
kind of shit. Drink Champ.
Yeah,
all that shit
yeah.
is just us sitting around creating content for these platforms that exist from nothing.
Yeah.
You don't need a lot of shit to get a podcast. You just really need to have some solid content, which we do. And then now we have to find a way. This is just another lane for us to be able to capitalize on what everybody else has been capitalizing on, which is our likeness and our content and our soul. We're the soul of the world, So
Yes.
this podcast shit is amazing, man. I'm all about it. Yeah, man.
Nah, facts. Well, it was great to have you, Sam.
Sure.
We want our listeners to know where they can find you. So can you give them your social media, website, whatever?
Come holler at me, Mr. Sam Method. Mr. Sam Method. Come holler at me. I'll give you some nice fitness tips and all that kind of stuff like that. And all the beautiful ladies, I'm waiting for you.
I can't. Anyway, so the Drop Night Show has decided we are going to kick off our summer bodies. And
For sure.
Sam's going to help us get there. So y'all make sure you track us.
Go.
We're going to
Stay
start
locked.
posting our different meal plans and things we're going to change. Right, Sean?
You know what? You know what? At night, vending machine.
That's your
turn that vending machine bullshit loose.
You
Come on,
cannot
man.
be going to the vending
Not the
machine.
vending machine.
Tasty cakes.
Sean, you can't. If you need to put a padlock on that thing just for
Tasty
your
cakes.
ass,
Come on.
you cannot be going to the vending machine. You're not
gotta
going to
turn
get
loose.
to your goals that way.
You know how I lost weight fast? I started doing Herbalife.
Herbalife's good.
Okay.
Herbalife is good.
Shake in the morning,
Yeah, that worked for you.
Real supplements. It's awesome,
and a
man.
little workout.
Yeah.
1 meal a day.
Yeah,
Oh, you
man.
did 1 meal a day. Okay.
I felt like I was starving myself.
It's tough. It's hard for it to be sustainable, but that's your launching pad, and then it's up to you to figure out how to make it more sustainable. And that's why I'm here. I got you, bro. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So y'all, when should we have our check-in? When are we gonna be like, okay, we're at our goals? What's our timeline?
July.
Okay, so y'all heard it. K Wonder's not here, but we gonna put her on this timeline
She
too.
needs it.
I didn't say that, Kai. But we gonna get our goals. We gonna get there, and y'all follow us. In July, we gonna check in.
Yo, we got. You talking about
That's a few
empowering
months,
our people?
right?
What we got going on that we about to do?
Oh
It's
yeah,
gonna
we
empower
can't really say
a lot
yet. Okay.
of people.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're excited. We definitely have things in the works. Taking it to the streets. We doing more in the community, which is great.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
And
But-
definitely, if you're willing, we'll bring you along because
Come
people
on. Let's leave.
Oh
by
yeah,
example.
we
They
definitely
need
need
to
to know.
they
Yeah.
need to know.
I'm definitely
As much as I
agreeing
can
with
empower and
that.
educate, I will for sure.
But once again, thank you, Sam Williams, for
Thank you
being
for having
on the Drop Night Show.
Yes.
MRD, thank you for showing up,
You're welcome.
bringing that positive energy,
Of course.
and you can.
I wouldn't
catch
want to be anywhere else tonight.
Oh,
Really.
oh,
I mean it.
yeah, yeah. Sorry.
Hate you.
But it's the Drop Night Show. You can catch us next Thursday, same time, same place. It's your man Sean BC Mardy Sam Williams, and we are out on the Drop Night Show with Ice Radio.